The autumn rain drummed against the windows of Marcus Thompson's small apartment, creating a steady rhythm that had become the soundtrack to another difficult evening. He sat at the kitchen table, surrounded by bills and half-empty coffee cups, his calculator displaying numbers that never seemed to add up the way he needed them to. Marcus rubbed his tired eyes and glanced toward the living room, where his 8-year-old daughter Emma was curled up on the worn sofa, sketching in her notebook. Her dark hair fell like a curtain around her face as she concentrated, completely absorbed in her art. Despite everything they were going through, she still found ways to create beauty. The single father had been struggling for months now. Since losing his job at the factory, he had been picking up odd jobs wherever he could find them. Painting houses, delivering packages, cleaning offices late at night while Emma slept. Nothing steady. Nothing that paid enough to cover rent, groceries, and Emma's school supplies all in the same month. Tonight felt particularly heavy. The landlord had left another notice on their door, this one with bold red letters that seemed to shout even when folded and tucked away in his pocket. 3 months behind on rent. Final notice. Marcus had been here before, but somehow it never got easier. A soft knock at the door interrupted his worried thoughts. Marcus frowned, checking the time on the microwave. Nearly 9 o'clock. Who would be visiting at this hour? Through the peephole, he saw a young woman standing in the hallway. She appeared to be in her early 20s, with blonde hair plastered to her head from the rain. Her clothes were soaked through, and she was shivering visibly. She looked up at the door with desperate, pleading eyes. Marcus hesitated for a moment, then slowly opened the door, keeping the chain latch in place. "I'm sorry to bother you," the young woman said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I know this is strange, but I'm in trouble. I have nowhere else to go tonight. Could I please just sit in your hallway until morning? I won't cause any problems, I promise." There was something about her voice, something genuine and frightened that made Marcus pause. He had always been the type to help others when he could, even when he had little to give. His own mother had raised him that way. But with Emma to think about, he had to be careful. "What kind of trouble?" he asked gently. The young woman's shoulders shook, and not just from the cold. "I had a fight with my family. A bad one. I left home, but I don't have anywhere to stay. I tried calling friends, but..." She trailed off, looking down at her feet. "I just need somewhere safe for one night. Please." Marcus looked back at Emma, who had stopped drawing and was watching curiously from the sofa. He thought about all the times people had helped him when he needed it most. The neighbor who had watched Emma when he had to work late. The grocery store clerk who had quietly not charged him for bread when his card was declined. Small acts of kindness that had made all the difference. He unlatched the chain and opened the door wider. "Come in," he said softly. "You'll catch pneumonia out there." The young woman's face lit up with relief and gratitude. "Thank you so much. I'm Sarah, by the way. Sarah Chen. Marcus Thompson. And that's my daughter Emma." He gestured toward the living room, where Emma had come closer to get a better look at their unexpected guest. Sarah smiled warmly at the little girl. "Hi Emma. I love your drawing. Are those flowers?" Emma nodded shyly, holding up her notebook to show a detailed sketch of sunflowers in a field. "They're my favorite. Daddy says they always turn toward the sun, even on cloudy days." "That's beautiful," Sarah said, and Marcus could tell she genuinely meant it. "You're very talented." As Sarah sat down at the kitchen table, Marcus noticed details he had missed before. Despite being soaked from the rain, her clothes looked expensive. Her shoes were leather, well made. Even her simple backpack appeared to be designer quality. But there was something in her eyes that spoke of real pain, real need. "Let me get you a towel and some hot tea," Marcus offered, already moving toward the small linen closet. "You don't have to do all this," Sarah protested. "I just needed a dry place to sit." "Nobody should spend a night cold and wet," Marcus replied, handing her a clean towel. "Besides, Emma would never forgive me if I didn't offer tea to a guest. She takes hospitality very seriously." Emma beamed at this, immediately running to get her favorite mug for their visitor. "This one has flowers on it like your drawing," she explained to Sarah. As the evening progressed, The three of them settled into an easy rhythm. Sarah helped Emma with her homework, showing a surprising knowledge of mathematics that impressed both father and daughter. Marcus prepared a simple dinner of pasta and vegetables, stretching it to feed 3 people instead of 2. "I'm sorry I can't offer more," Marcus said as they ate. "Things have been a bit tight lately." Sarah shook her head firmly. "This is perfect. More than perfect. I can't remember the last time I had a home-cooked meal shared with people who actually cared about each other." There was something wistful in her voice that made Marcus wonder about her story. What kind of family fight would leave a young woman with nowhere to turn? But he didn't pry. Everyone deserved their privacy, especially when they were hurting. After dinner, Emma insisted on showing Sarah her other drawings. They spread out on the living room floor, going through notebook after notebook of Emma's artwork. Sarah praised each picture with genuine enthusiasm, asking questions about technique and inspiration that made Emma glow with pride. "You should go to art school someday," Sarah told her. "These are really exceptional." Emma's face fell slightly. "Daddy says art school costs too much money. Maybe someday when things get better." Marcus felt his heart clench. It was true, but hearing it said out loud made it sound so final, so limiting. He wanted to give Emma everything, including the chance to pursue her dreams. Sarah was quiet for a moment, then smiled. "Well, you know what? The most important thing about being an artist is to never stop creating. Art school is just one path. There are many ways to share your gift with the world." That night, Marcus gave Sarah his bed and slept on the sofa. Despite his protests that she should take the couch, she had insisted that he had done enough by letting her stay. As he lay there, listening to the rain finally beginning to slow, he felt a strange sense of peace. For all their struggles, tonight felt different. Fuller somehow. The next morning, Sarah was up early, helping Emma get ready for school and making breakfast with whatever she could find in their small pantry. She had somehow transformed their basic ingredients into something that felt like a feast. "I should probably head out soon," she said as they finished eating. "I've imposed on your kindness long enough." "You haven't imposed at all," Marcus said honestly. "It's been nice having another adult to talk to. Emma clearly adores you." Sarah knelt down to Emma's level. "Thank you for sharing your art with me, and for making me feel so welcome. You're a very special girl." Emma hugged her tightly. "Will we see you again?" "I hope so," Sarah replied, and something in her voice suggested she meant it more than anyone realized. After Emma left for school, Sarah gathered her things. She paused at the door, seeming to wrestle with something internal. "Marcus," she said finally, "I need to tell you something. I wasn't entirely honest last night." Marcus felt his stomach drop. Had he made a mistake trusting her? Had he put Emma in danger? Sarah reached into her backpack and pulled out a business card, holding it out to him with trembling hands. The name on it read Sarah Chen, Vice President, Chen Industries. "My family owns Chen Industries," she said quietly. "The construction company. We have a lot of money. The fight I had with my father was about the family business. About how we treat people. He wants me to take over someday, but I can't stomach the way we operate sometimes." Marcus stared at the card, recognition dawning. Chen Industries was one of the largest construction companies in the state. He had seen their signs on job sites all over the city. "I ran away because I was tired of living in a world where everything is about profit margins and bottom lines," Sarah continued. "But spending time with you and Emma reminded me that there are still good people in this world. People who share what little they have with strangers. People who prioritize kindness over money." She paused, taking a deep breath. "I want to help you, Marcus. Not because I feel sorry for you, but because you and Emma represent something I want to be part of. Something real." Marcus was quiet for a long moment, processing this revelation. Finally, he looked up at her. "What kind of help?" Sarah smiled, and for the first time since he had met her, she looked truly at peace. "The kind that lets Emma go to art school someday. The kind that means you never have to choose between rent and groceries again. But more than that, I want to offer you a job. A real job, with Chen Industries. We need someone who understands what it means to work hard and